In America, bees are currently experiencing population decline. The cause of this population decline can be attributed to multiple factors such as insecticide use, poor diets, and climate change. Insecticide use has been known to cause memory impairment of bees and a weakening of their immune system. Memory impairment has effects such as causing the bees to forget where their hive is or what flowers they pollinated. The insecticides can cause the immune system to become suppressed, causing the bees to get sick and die. On farms where bees pollinate, bees often have little to no variety in the crops that they pollinate, since farms are often dedicated to a single crop. This makes it so that the pollen bees get is not as diverse in nutrition as they should be getting. In some cases, the plant's pollen is toxic in high doses, such as almonds. The increase in synthetic fertilizers made it so that the flowering plants that were used to fertilize soils and keep bees healthy were gone from most farms. Climate change also impacts the population of bees. In cases of more extreme weather, beehives are often destroyed or damaged. The changes in local climates, such as drier summers and springs that are cold enough to frost plants, could damage the bee populations that rely on plants being healthy enough for pollination.
Discipline-specific approaches. Biologists would study the bee colonies, observe the surrounding areas and environment, and judge the health of the colony. A chemist would analyze the makeup of the pesticides used on crops and the fertilizers used on them.
For the interdisciplinary approaches, a couple examples would be a biologist who contacts a statistician in order for him to generate graphs or create functions to model the decline of bees. And another example would be maybe a biologist contacts the chemist and gets him to test the effects of pesticides and other toxins on bees to see what kind of problems they could cause in the future.
We analyzed an article by InfoWars. We gave it a rating of green, and the reasoning behind it was that it listed all its sources and the sources were from reliable places. Some of the facts that we found to be useful in InfoWars was there are 47 bumblebee species in the United States. 25% of bumblebees in North America are at risk of becoming extinct. 3.5 million honeybee colonies were registered in 1989, but by 2006 the number had fallen to 2.5 million.
Stoplight rating for Greenpeace was yellow. The reason for this was it didn't give any sources, and they also didn't have any graphs, but their information was fairly correct. A summary of the piece, they were saying that the reason bees were declining was because there are not as many beekeepers, and in some countries it increased and in some countries it decreased.
Breitbart was given a stoplight rating of red. This is due to the fact that the only source listed does not have the same results as our research group has gathered, and are not from a reliable source. The article goes on to claim that bees are not experiencing population decline at all, and that bee population decline is an attempt to delegitimize insecticide industries.
There are a few ways we can help the bees. One of them is to avoid the use of pesticides which use chemicals that can harm them. Another one is to plant bee-friendly flowers such as hyacinths, English marigolds, crocus flowers, and snapdragons.